Hello everyone, I am Caitlin Bailey and today is October the 2nd and this is my SME interview for Entrepreneurship ENT 600 at Western Carolina University. Today I'm doing a little bit different kind of interview. This is the first time I'm interviewing a close friend and I'm super excited. She is a artist, a writer, but I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit more about herself. I have Raquel Royster. Raquel, thank you for coming. Raquel was in town for a book signing, so we'll tell you a little bit about that later. But she stopped through and she's from the Greensboro area, so I really appreciate her stopping by. Raquel, can you tell us a little bit about your education and background?
Okay. My name is Raquel Royster. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, a master's in business admin with concentration in project management.
Thank you. And where did you attend school?
I'm sorry. That's the best part. I attended the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University for my bachelor's and Strayer University for my master's.
Okay. And before your life of being an entrepreneur, can you tell us about your working history?
I was in transportation logistics for 4 years and about 5 months in sales and marketing within the Class 8 market. I enjoyed it, but it ended up turning into a toxic work environment, and I decided to pursue entrepreneurship.
Do you think that's why a lot of entrepreneurs turn to entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. It just comes to a point, I know for me, where your mental health comes first, and eventually you realize that it's either continue working in this job, functioning sort of as a robot, or do you want to pursue passions that bring you joy and are fulfilling to you?
At what point did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I really didn't. It was a complete accident, but I think it was when I knew I couldn't rely on corporate America anymore. That's when I knew I wanted to become an entrepreneur.
What has been your biggest challenge in this journey?
So far, it's just waking up not knowing that I have a steady paycheck coming in. So it's kind of really unfamiliar. And just getting people to support your endeavors. For instance, with the book, getting people to buy the book, doing the promotions, the marketing, getting people on board has been the biggest struggle.
So before you became a writer, well, I should say before you published a book, because I know you've been a writer for quite a while. How did you start?
Well, I've been working on that book for about 2 years. I collected all the poems, put them in a binder about 2 years ago. I applied for the ISBN in August, and I was just sitting, waiting until pretty much the universe said it's time, and I knew as soon as I left corporate America it was time.
So while you were at corporate America, I know that you had some projects going on. Can you tell us a little bit about Pretty Dope Right?
Yes. Pretty Dope Right is my blog. It is my pride and joy. I wanted to have a creative outlet. I've always been a writer. And one day I just said, you know what? I'm stressed out at work. Let me just vent. Put the pen to the paper and just start the blogging lifestyle. And so far it's done very well. I'm going into a year and a half. My blog is international. I've done interviews, book reviews, album reviews. I've had a ton of shout outs, different material that I've uploaded, and I'm proud because I taught myself everything about blogging because I do nothing about running and maintaining a website.
When you first started blogging, was it something you saw yourself doing full time? Did you think you could make that a full time profession or career?
Definitely, but I knew that I didn't want to oversaturate the market. I didn't want to burn out easily. That's why I only blog once a week, and I have a certain night that I write on, and nothing else comes before my writing.
So I know you have an MBA, but did that prepare you for entrepreneurship? Did that prepare you to make money off of yourself or your business?
It did not.
Okay, so you were self-taught. What ways did you go about trying to figure out like how to make money for your business?
YouTube is powerful. So anything that I didn't know, I went on YouTube. I looked to Facebook. I reached out to my other friends that were also entrepreneurs, and I pretty much just got advice on what worked for them, what didn't work, what was okay to try, and if it works, it works. If it failed, then you learn that lesson.
How important has your network been, or networking and building those connections? How important and how have you used that?
I completely rely on my network for a lot of things. Like if there's anything I need in terms of advice about advertising, promo, or anything like that, I go to my network first before I seek outside resources.
Okay, you being a small business owner, do you freelance some of the things, or do you try to, I guess, teach yourself how to do them, like your marketing, your advertising, those kind of things that, maybe are, pricey for someone with a small business?
I definitely try to teach myself first. It's funny with the book cover, I wanted to design it myself, so I downloaded Adobe InDesign and I was tinkering with it. I was on YouTube for a couple of hours, and then I just said, okay, this is the one thing that you actually have to pay for. So there's some things you just have to.
I have heard that. I have heard that being a common thing, where we're learning that some things you do have to invest in, because if you're not going to be a specialist in everything. I want to show everyone the book now. So this is Raquel's first published book, The Museum of Thought, Poetic Perspectives from Adolescence. So there's the book cover. So who did you have design this?
I went through a website called Fiverr. I took this picture when I was in DR for the first time last year, and I said, hey, this is really neat. The museum that I was at was the Larimar Museum. Larimar is only mined in DR, so I said, hey, it goes with the theme.
Great. Were you scared of the feedback on the book or your product?
I was a little nervous, but with anything, I always tell people the one thing that people can't take away from you, and that's your perspective. So I wrote these poems as a teenager into my early 20s, and these were my raw emotions and feelings, and they were valid based off of what I was experiencing. So, the feedback, positive or negative, right or wrong, it's welcome, but it was my perspective.
How do the words being a creative and being an entrepreneur, how are they related, or if they're related at all?
I think they're similar. You can be a creative without being an entrepreneur, because there are a lot of creatives that work for other people. Creative entrepreneur like myself, we're trying to learn the ins and outs of the business side versus just creating things for other people.
Got it. With you being a creative, was it hard for you to function in corporate America in a 9-to-5 job?
It was, and I had so many sticky notes that just took over my desk. And if I wanted to focus on work, there were things that I had to do, such as listen to music or listen to podcasts. But for the most part, I would work for about 10 minutes and then do sticky notes for about 5 and then jump back. So
the sticky notes were focused on your business?
Yes, my business, different ideas, different people that I wanted to connect with, different things that I wanted to learn. It was definitely not work.
Have you reached out to investors yet, or brought partners in as far as funding your business?
I have not.
Okay. Going forward, is that something you're thinking about, or how do you plan to fund your business? Do you want to do fully self-made, or look for outside opportunities?
I would like to stick to fully self-made because sometimes when you bring investors in, it takes away from the integrity of your work. Because then, slowly but surely, I know for my business, others outside ideas start to creep in, and it starts to take away from the main mission that I had, and then it grows into something that I never wanted it to be.
Well, that is good to hear. That's spot on what we're reading in some of our material provided for this class. Also, another question. So, looking at the longevity of your business, you being the founder, do you plan to stay the founder and have full control over the business?
Absolutely. This is something that I definitely would like to pass on to future offspring, and to sort of leave a legacy, starting a legacy for my family. Like, you don't have to, desire to go to school and go to work for someone else. Like, I want to leave a spirit of entrepreneurship.
Okay. So, do you see yourself? I know you have plenty of ideas as far as apparel, this and that. Are you going to tie that all in together, or do you see these being separate entities in themselves?
Well, right now it's about 13 different projects, but they all focus around a Pretty Dope Right brand. So there's the book. I'm doing workshops. I'm doing life coaching. I have a book club, Pretty Dope Reads. I would like to do Pretty Dope Writes publishing corner. I'd like to do Pretty Dope Right merchandise. So they all tie in together.
Okay, so you want to keep the one brand though?
Yes.
Sounds great. Do you have any, not to give too much of your workshop, but can you tell what the workshop is about and any kind of advice you would have for entrepreneurs just starting out?
The Selfie Workshop is a workshop designed for women to get back to ourselves, because as women, we tend to pour from empty vessels a lot. Our needs go unmet and undervalued because we're taking care of everyone else that we support and nurture. And I want us to start remembering ourselves first. And that's, I'm gonna give away for that.
Okay.
So a good tip for people starting out: if you really believe in your dreams, then go for it full force. Don't let anything or anyone talk you out of it or stop you from doing it. Do whatever you have to do to fully pursue it, and just understand that failure is a part of the process. Everything is not going to go your way or how you thought it would be, but as long as you're doing it and as long as you feel fulfilled, then you're fine.
Thank you. I feel like that is a great stopping point. You have given us a lot of good nuggets and a lot of encouragement for entrepreneurs that are just stepping out to start up their business. So thank you again for being with us, Raquel. Everyone heard. Tell them where they can find your book.
They can find this book on Amazon Prime, on Amazon Kindle, on BarnesandNoble.com, or via my website, www.prettydoperight.com.
And this is Museum of Thought and Pretty Dope Right. That's also where your blog is.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.